Good morning, and thanks for choosing using nonfiction text and social studies as one of your choices today. We're going to be looking at the options you have that have already been purchased by the district that you automatically have access to, and how you can use those in your reading instruction. So first, why nonfiction? Most of our post-school reading is nonfiction. In our jobs, in our lives, as we read the news, as we read information on the internet, the majority of what we read is nonfiction. Over half of the STAR test has historically been nonfiction. And according to research, reading skills taught in nonfiction will transfer to fiction, but it doesn't always work the other way. So why teach reading during social studies? Well, I have 4 pictures for you. First, the clock. That 25 minutes goes by really quick. And so by integrating language arts and social studies, we can buy more time for social studies. Also, I have the picture of that rope so that we can think about those 8 strands of social studies that kids really need to understand. The pen, because whatever they're reading about, they can also write about. And then I have that history book because our secondary colleagues, one of the things that we hear over and over from them is that kids need to come more prepared to read complex nonfiction texts. So our social studies strands: history, geography, citizenship, culture, our social studies skills, economics, government, science, technology, and society. In K3, we learn about those independently, but in 4 and 5, we start looking at those twisted into the rope. And so kids need to have a really strong foundation in all of those. So how do I start? Pick your content. Look at the social studies text for the 6 weeks. Then look at the reading skills that you need to teach that 6 weeks, and then choose your resource. So possible skills: summary, main idea and details, cause and effect, monitoring and adjusting comprehension, inference, cross-textual connections, and nonfiction text features. So possible uses for our social studies text: shared reading, close reading, STAR format practice, guided reading if it's at the student's correct level, and reading tasks during Reader's Workshop when you're learning about nonfiction. So first, we're going to look at this in 2 different ways. What kind of reading input can students get, and then what kind of output can they use to show you what they've learned from their reading? So first, where should you start? I've chosen some resources that every campus has. So first, your My World Social Studies book, your primary source readers, Reading A to Z, toolkit text, which is for 5th grade only, and then the leveled readers that come with your social studies book. So to begin with, the social studies textbook. It's projectable and printable, and it can be used as an ebook, so it can also be a listening station, and it has that text-to-speech capability. Your primary source readers. There are a set of these on every campus. There's an American Biography set, which should be shared K5. My Community Now and Then, shared grades 2nd and 3rd. Texas History, which is 4th grade. Early America, Expanding and Preserving the Union and the 20th Century. These are 3 boxes that are for 5th grade. And My Country Reader's Theater, which is shared for kindergarten and 1st. So those primary source readers have 2 levels, on level and below level, but they cover the same content. I recommend using them as excerpts instead of having kids read the whole book in one sitting. A paper clip to a 2-page spread and have them read that. Choose the passage that's the most significant. Each kit has a teacher guide, and those teacher guides have already made quizzes, document-based questions, and other activities. And they have a lot of great map activities in there as well. Reading A to Z is our newest resource. Titles are listed by unit in the curriculum previews, and I'm adding them to the unit overview documents. They're projectable and printable and can also be used as ebooks. Your toolkit texts. There's one set per 5th grade team. They're designed for reading instruction. They're actually put together by the same people that did Comprehension Toolkit, and they're perfect for close reading. I'm currently building a Google file of close reading and star format questions for these reading passages. I'm just keeping it on my desk and writing them when I have time. And if you write some, send them to me and I'll add them so we can keep building the file. Next are your social studies leveled readers. These come in 3 levels: on level, above level, and below level. They have lesson plans that go with them. They're available as ebooks. They're also projectable and printable. Now let's look at output. Some of these strategies you may have seen before if you've been to the integration training. But the first is a sensory figure. This one is one that I created for Teddy Roosevelt. It's in a unit that's really busy, so we really don't have time for kids to draw. But this way they get the same activity just without drawing the historical figure. So they answer these questions. What did he see? What did he feel? What did he hear? What did he smell? And what was his contribution? And then we also have, I've added a quote of his so that they can learn a little bit more about Teddy Roosevelt. They can do the same thing and draw the historical figure. Next I have make the best answer. After kids have read a piece of content, they can work in groups. Each member of the group individually answers the question. Then they look at all 4 of the answers and then construct the best answer using pieces of all 4 answers. I will recommend that you make kids turn in their first answer, or what they'll do is just copy the longest or the answer that they think is from the smartest person in their group. Next are tweets. So you have kids read and then write a quick summary as a tweet. And kids probably are not as familiar with Twitter as they are with Facebook, but they, only have a limited amount, and then they can add 2 hashtags. So if they've read a piece about Paul Revere, today's tweet at Paul Revere, too bad he couldn't finish his ride, hashtag got caught, hashtag Patriots, something like that, where they're, and this is just a little template that I got off the internet. Next is give one, get one. This is a Kagan strategy. And so I have the directions for that right here on the slide, and you can see that that students are collecting notes and reviewing with each other. Next is a storytelling basket. So what you would do in a station is have a basket with items that go along with what the kids have learned about and read about. So if they were learning about natural resources, there could be a cotton ball and a piece of fabric and an item of doll clothing. And then they would have to explain to their partner how the cotton ball became the fabric, how the fabric became the piece of clothing. So it's just all about giving kids a basket of real items and then having them use their oral language skills to explain, and then they could write afterwards. Next are illustrated notes. So this student was asked to read a paragraph about World War II and then added illustrations and notes to show their understanding. Lastly, I have a comic strip summary, and I'm going to put a link on Canvas so you can go to the website where this template is. You can see this student was asked to make a summary of the Battle of Yorktown. So just imagine your students have read about the Boston Tea Party. Instead of taking a quiz on it, they have to create a comic strip that shows you the main events, so the cause and the effect of the Boston Tea Party. So your resources, your unit overviews. They already have which of these resources connect to your units. Then we have the curriculum previews that have all the A to Z titles, your academic coaches, and your librarian, and then me. I am happy to help, and if you have any specific questions, shoot me an email. I'm happy to come out and meet with you or answer your questions by email or phone. I'd love to plan with you. So if there's anything I can do, let me know. I hope you're having a great professional learning day, and hope you are ready to go connect reading and social studies. Thanks, and have a great day.